So, for some of you who don't know, I am the illustrious Perry James, and you're watching Hashtag Truth with Scott Larson. Cut! Somebody get that Zuckerberg guy on the phone. We gotta get Larson shut down.
Cause we're always looking out for you. Always looking out for you. Always looking out for you. Always looking out for you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hashtag Truth. This guy right here needs no introduction. He is a woolly vet of Hashtag Truth. As a matter of fact, you've been on more than any other wrestler, believe it or not. And if you look in the Guinness Book of World Records, he has the longest Hashtag Truth interview of 2 hours and 37 minutes back in 2019. How you doing, big country?
Can't complain. It's 2020, so I'm not really sure how anybody's doing, but I'm alive. I'm above ground, and for the time being, I'm in good health. So, gotta love that.
That's what I was going to start off with, man. 2020. Thank God it's almost over, right?
Well, it's almost over, but just because when the clock strikes 12 and it becomes January 1st, doesn't mean all the craziness of this world is going to go away. It's just going to be, I think somebody said it best, it's going to be 2021. So
that's it. That's it.
It's going to be the
There we go, without a doubt. Ben Wolf said, hello, big country.
Ben.
Also said hello to me. How you doing, Ben? Robert says, who is he? Uh-oh. Already with the haters.
Well, I guess.
And Robert says, big country is Santa. There you go.
Okay. I wish I was Santa. I'd give everybody their Christmas wish and get rid of all this crap.
Right? Without a doubt. So, like, 2020, man, this COVID thing hit us, and a lot of organizations shut down, are still shut down. One of the organizations where me and you met, was EWF, now HWA. They haven't even come back yet. There's a few other organizations that are still closed down for health reasons, of course. Nothing else, just health reasons. And what do you think about that, man? Is it hard to find a wrestling gig?
Yeah, beyond hard to try to find a wrestling gig. The fact of the matter is that everybody wants to be safe. And no matter how safe you are, no matter how many precautions you take, if you run a show, there's going to be those that don't like the fact that you're running a show, so they're going to have something to say. There's others that are going to praise you for taking the right precautions. So, it's a crapshoot. It's 50-50. Either, you can find a show, you wrestle on it, you take all the proper precautions, have fun, give people what they want, or you give the haters what they want, and it's just a bunch of crap talking. Basically, it's a double-edged sword. You can't win for losing, So you got to roll the dice and do what you got to do.
Right. Now there is a lot of young talent because of COVID, coming out. A lot of young talent is popping up all over North Carolina, going into places like, Center Arena and things like that. A lot of new faces. What do you think about all these new kids that are coming into the wrestling scene?
More power to them. Just the only thing I can say is make sure you're trained. Well, let me make that. make sure you're trained correctly, because anybody could think that, oh, I know how to bump or lock up, and boom, I can go in there and do everything I see on TV. You're going to learn real quick if you're not trained properly, especially if you get in there with guys that know what they're doing. It's going to turn bad for you real quick. So don't rush into it. Make sure you're trained correctly. Make sure your trainer who's training you is legit, and go out there and have fun. I mean, that's all you can do. That's one thing that's missing in wrestling nowadays is having a good time and having fun. Everybody wants to worry about spots and popping the boys. I'm just worried about entertaining those fans.
Right. It goes back to my old saying, give us something to invest in, man. I want something to invest in. Give me a storyline. Give me a story in the ring. I want to come back and see you fight again.
Well, you don't want to. The bad part about it is you don't want to sit through basically the same match, watching the same spots, just with different characters. They're going to see all this stuff. Me personally, I'd rather you get emotionally invested in my match than basically make it run on adrenaline. It's like getting the action and the drama of a movie at the same time,
Right. That's a perfect way to put it. Speaking about action and drama, have you seen the new Wonder Woman movie yet?
No, and a lot of people are hating on it. They say it's not as good as the first one. It's long, it's drawn out. Tell you the truth, the only time I've seen Wonder Woman in any of the movies was when the Justice League came out, and
there you go.
I'll tell you what, when I first heard that, what's her name, Gail? I can't even pronounce her name. She was in the Fast and Furious movie. When they announced her as Wonder Woman, I was like, she's not big enough. She's not tall enough. Wonder Woman should be a little, muscular. But, from the stills I saw, I think
it works though, right?
Well, I'm always the biggest thing of don't judge a book by its cover. Ben Affleck, I don't think he was the best Batman, but I think he was the best Bruce Wayne, and then this new one with Robert Pattinson, when I saw the trailer, at first I was like, oh man, the guy from Twilight who sparkles when he gets in the sun is going to be, one of the most awesome superheroes ever. And then when I saw the trailer and I saw the butt whooping he was giving guys, I was like, I'm actually interested in watching this,
Right, without a doubt. Speaking of a blast from the past, Art Long says Darkness Country Taking 2021. So there you go. Father Darkness chiming in, one of your managers. Now, speaking of managers, man, again, you've had more than one manager, Father Darkness being one of them through your years. What do you feel? Why do you feel, or do you feel that managers don't get the respect that they deserve?
I think good managers are a lost art. Anybody nowadays, especially a guy starts dating a girl, it's like, hey, she could be my valet and come out there with me. People don't understand. You got to get trained to be a manager. It's like you get trained to be a wrestler. There's certain things a manager has to do. Spots, being the mouthpiece when needed to be, being the distraction when needed to be. You don't take away from the match. A good wrestling manager is hard to find. Art's one of the good ones. My first ever manager, Big Business James McComb, who actually gave me the name Big Country. James, I won't hold that against you. If I knew now or knew then what I know now, I would have been like, I'd have been like, nah, because the amount of big countries that have hit me up on my inbox talking about how I stole their gimmick and everything is just ridiculous. But yeah, good wrestling managers is a lost art. Everybody thinks they can be, but like your partner, Chuck Winchester, I Am Righteous, knows. He's been my manager. Art's been my manager. Joey Nugg's another awesome one that doesn't get as much credit as he should.
Right.
All good ones. I've had some stinkers where I walk in and like, hey, we're going to put this guy with you. And I'm like, nope.
No.
Nothing against the guy. He could be the coolest guy in the world, but, I can usually sense if me and somebody is going to click. And if we're not, and we go out there, and you start taken away from the show, like a lot of I know you've seen it too with the shows you've been at, where a lot of managers will start gabbing with the crowd, and what does that do? That takes away from the main reason, is the match in the ring. You know, they don't know
Yep.
that's because they're not trained. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know they're basically, I don't want to take away from it, but mainly it's like a prop. You know, they need to give heat when needed to be, and then cause a distraction when needed to be. And they can be they could change the tide of a match, you know, by what they say or what they do. And
Right.
if you don't know what you're doing, you go out
Right.
there, you know, you're going to trip over your own feet. And you're going to end up pissing somebody off and creating a lot of enemies.
Or you fall out of a ring and break your toe. Just saying, man. I'm just saying. I tried my hand at it. I wasn't the best.
That's not the craziest injury I've ever seen. I mean, you know, that's a crazy
Right.
ring. But yeah, just rule one thing to keep in mind: never try to go in between the middle and the bottom. That's for the women.
I learned that the hard way.
Especially on a low boy.
Yes, I learned that the hard way. I went down. Even the announcer was like, "Man down, man down."
Hey, but you went down with style, you know.
Yeah, I rolled through, got up, walked right out. I was good till I got to the back, and I realized, I can't walk too good. This isn't
especially
good.
when that adrenaline wears off, and you're like, "Oh God, this
Right.
does hurt."
Right. That toe was throbbing, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you at all. We have got a lot of people watching. Thank you very much for watching #Truth. Over 1,100 views on my relaunch. I want to thank everybody for that. I'm going to go to a couple commercial breaks, and then we're going to come back with Big Country. So please stick around. Let's do this. If I can find it. Hey, there it is.
Greetings, citizens of the United States of America.
I pledge allegiance to the almighty dollar and the all-seeing eye.
Attention, XCW. This is illuminating truth from New Age villains.
Ryan Riley, have you heard the news? This Saturday, the New Age villains are debuting with Excalibur Championship Wrestling. That's right, Lincolnton, North Carolina, January 2nd. And the best part, our opponents are Cam Jackson and K.O. Mark. Now, Cam, you and I, we've crossed paths before. We've went to battle. You're a heck of a competitor. I have to give it to you.
K. Omari, the fire of the Carolinas.
Something like that.
You see, that's funny, Omari, because we've already burned down the Carolinas. That's old news to us. You're just a little bit late to the party. Because this Saturday in Lincolnton, North Carolina, you're going to see it for yourself. What we've already done to the Carolinas, K. Omari, Cam Jackson, we're going to do to you.
See, we've done our research. We know full well what we're walking into this Saturday. We always know what we're walking into. We can only hope that you've done the same.
At the winner of this contest, the Southern Punisher, Big
There you go. Big Country versus Brett West. Now, I've seen you do that super kick. That was kind of low. I think you took the wind out of him for that 3 count. But I've seen you kick people square in the face with that super kick and knock their teeth out, man.
Yeah, well, they can't all be winners. Sometimes, the time is a little off, but, as much as I can knock somebody out with it, I can also break somebody's sternum. So,
Right.
as long as their shoulders are down for the 3 count, that's all that matters.
Right, without a doubt. Now you have been Marvin Larson said, "Who's Big Country whooping next?" There you go.
That's a really good question, Scott. The next show that I know that I have right now, February 6th, will be for 3 count pro wrestling. Don't know who I'm wrestling. Doesn't really matter. At 3 count pro wrestling, my shoulders have never been down for a 3 count, and I've never tapped out. So whoever they want to put in front of me.
Well, speaking of 3 count, right after the next commercial break, we're gonna have your last 3 count show. We have a clip of that show, and we know what happened there. I'm not going to spoil it for everybody, but we know, and I hope he's watching because he was on here for the last show and he was talking junk. So let him talk junk after this one, because the end of that match is, and that's the clip I have, is the end of it. Yeah, you know what happened. You know what happened. My favorite move that you do, and nobody gets up from it. Nobody. So. But yeah, man, it's amazing. Now all these shows that are coming out of the center arena during COVID, and a lot of people are kind of making fun of the building and things like that. They're calling it the COVID Dome, and I kind of take it as a badge of honor because I work for one of the companies. I work for Titan Wrestling Southside, and hey, we're running through the COVID. We're running shows. Everybody's got their face mask on. Everybody's taking their temperatures. We're wiping everything down. What do you think about people making fun of people trying to run during these hard times?
These are the same people that go inside a grocery store or Walmart, standing shoulder to shoulder with people. A lot of them don't even have masks on. The way I see it is, if you're going to get COVID, you're going to get it. I've had it. Luckily, I didn't go through a lot of stuff like, my friend Chad Scott and stuff have done. A lot of these people that are having, really bad complications from it. I think life is going to find a way. If you're going to get it, you're going to get it. You can be as safe as you want to, but, it's just like the flu. No matter how many vitamins you take, or anything like that, if your body wants you to get it, you're going to get it. And, the fact that it's not like they're being reckless. Yes, I know it's better to probably not, but the fact of the matter is everybody's begging for these shows to go on, and people are doing it. They're taking the proper precautions. I guarantee you these people are going over to the family's house, and they probably got a house full of people elbow to elbow. Not everybody's wearing masks and stuff. The fact of the matter is you can't, you can't choose one over the other and think one of them's better than the other,
Right.
At least they're doing it the right way. They're wearing masks, they're checking temperatures, gloves, hand sanitizer, taking the proper precautions, and still able to give the people the entertainment that they're asking for. I mean, everybody wants it, but then when we give it to them, everybody's got something to say about it. But with the way the world is nowadays.
Trust me, like you said, Chad Scott. Now, Chad Scott no longer runs the Wow Factor Party Pavilion. I want to make that perfectly clear. It's now Thomas Scott's building, but Chad Scott did catch COVID, and he will tell you straight up, if you talk to him, he died twice because of COVID. Died, and they had to resuscitate him. He takes it very serious, and when he walks into that building, you ain't got a mask on, he will confront you really quick. I mean, it is a serious thing, but our country's finding a way to stay safe and keep wrestling going, and that's what I appreciate.
Well, we're not the only ones doing it. Tennessee's doing it. South Carolina's doing it. A lot of places are doing it. The fact of the matter is, if you're not getting booked on a show, don't get sore about it and be like, running your mouth about it. If you have a problem with it, don't go. That's the freedom. That's the best thing about this country. You have the freedom to choose. If you choose not to, don't. You know, if other people do choose to, that's on them. You know, of course, you also have the freedom to run your mouth and say whatever you want to. That's another one of your freedoms. But you know, when people start jumping down your throat about it, don't be surprised. Freedom. You know, you have the freedom to make decisions.
Right.
If you make decisions, and not every decision you're going to make is going to be everybody's cup of tea, but it's still your decision and it's still your right. So if you choose to, if something happens, guess what? That's a decision you made. That's something you're going to have to live with, you know, but you know, it's
without a doubt. I agree 100% with everything you're saying. And I showed you, but I didn't show everybody else. I'm rocking the Big Country old school. All size matters. We're going to talk about that too, man. I noticed that you have changed your phrase, your catchphrase. You're starting to. You're like a lot of wrestlers. You've been in the business, I think, close to 16 years now. Correct?
Actually, this July will be 17. So
17. Wow, there you go. See, I'm behind. And so, you know, everyone, you're changing your ways a little bit. You're adapting more. Tell us about, you know, some of these wrestlers that don't want to change anything. They want to go out and keep the same gear on. They just don't want to change anything. Sometimes it gets boring.
Well, you know, they always say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Look at Ricky Morton. He's still coming out sporting the rock and roll gear, the bandanas and stuff. He changes his stuff up a little bit. You know, I've seen him dive out of rings. I've seen him do Canadian destroyers. So you got to tweak it a little bit, but you know, people love the classic. You know, if you don't expect Hacksaw Jim Duggan to run out there and start doing, you know, 450 splashes off the top rope, but you know, look at Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant, still doing the same thing he's been doing for, you know, decades now, and he's still one of the most entertaining people on earth. You know, everybody is gonna. It's like movies, man. It's like cereal. Everybody has a different flavor. Everybody has a different taste. Some people still love the old school stuff. Some people want to see this new, you know, adrenaline-filled acrobatic show.
Right.
You're never going to be everybody's cup of tea. I've learned that for many years now. I have a lot of haters. I've had a lot of people throughout my 16 years telling me that I have no business being in this business, that because I'm not, you know, a cookie cutter Gap model, you know, ab having, you know, can have washboard abs, people can wash their clothes on and stuff, that I have no business being in this business. But I believe.
Well, I can tell you, they've never taken a splash in the corner from you, or they've never been dropped on their head with your sit-down pile driver, because they changed their mind about that really quick if that ever happened to them. I guarantee it.
Well, my goal is not to be like everybody else. My goal is not to be the most athletic. My goal is to be entertaining, you know.
Right.
I'm going to go out there, like my saying is now, go big or go home. When I walk through that curtain, I'm going to give you 150% of what I have. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but I've stayed constantly booked for 16 years. So apparently somebody likes it. So, you know,
there's many shows out there that are calling on Big Country. Let me tell you, I've talked to many shows in North Carolina and South Carolina, and when I say, hey, who is that wrestler that you know always know when they come in, they're reliable, they're a good worker, they do their thing, they get paid, they go home, and they always bring fans. Who is it? And you are always in the top 5, man, always.
And that's what I want to be known for. When I'm done and over in this and not doing it anymore, the main thing I want to be is that guy was entertaining. It's not like, oh, that guy used to defy death and, you know, almost kill himself. I was entertained. When you left, you got your money's worth, you know. But the way I see it, here's how I see it, Scott. You know, wrestling got started in the carnival, in the circus. It was a novelty act. Now, when you go to a circus, do you see every single thing you look at? Is it the same? No. You've got different things for different people. You've got different games for different type of people. You got the ones where you shoot the water at the clown's mouth and make the balloon pop. You got where you shoot the baseballs, where you try to throw the ball in the basket.
Right.
There's a variety of things for every different people, and that's how I feel that a wrestling show should be. If every single match is the same spots, the same finish, the same cutoff, the same heat, you're going to get bored. If every wrestler looks the same, you're going to get bored. You're not going to go see this movie, and then this movie is basically this movie just with a different title. You're like, I already saw this movie. Why am I going to go see this one? But if you tweak it up a little bit, put a little bit of different stuff in there, it's like, oh, that's something I haven't seen before. May not like it, may hate to do it, but somebody's going to like it. So, variety. That's what I feel every wrestling show should have, is a variety for everybody. You want to do hardcore, that's cool. I've done it. You want to do deathmatch, that's cool. I've done it. You want to do, I would say high flying. For me, high flying. But, if you want to do technical, if you want to do powerhouse, at least for each person in that crowd, there's something for everybody.
Right. Right. And truth be told, I did 4 clips of you wrestling for tonight's show, and going down just YouTube or Facebook, either one, and going to different shows in the area, I could have easily picked 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different type matches that you've been in. So like you said, you like the variety, and we love that in you, man. I just love that you're not just going in and wrestling a one-on-one all the time. You might be in a tag team. You might do a ladder match. I've seen you do First Blood. I still remember that First Blood that you and Mr. Ben Wright had at it was EWF at the time. I love that match, by the way. I still think about that match all the time. And I mean, it's just awesome. And when wrestlers can learn to do that, that gives us, like I said, something to invest in, and it's fun to go to matches like that.
Well, the more that you open yourself up to be able to do different things, the more valuable you are to promoters. If you're can only be a baby face, a promoter needs a heel. Hey, I can't use this guy. All he knows how to do is be a baby face. As when you open yourself up to learn different things and be more valuable to people, I think that's better. I want to be that guy where I could go in there and fight Tyler Storm, or I can go in there and fight Franco Vargas, anybody, no matter if it's 500 pounds to 95 pounds, I can go in there and I can have not just a wrestling match, but I can entertain people. That's the whole thing. You can go in there, you can go through the moves, but it's those people that are on the other side of those barriers that matter. That's what they think. It's how they feel, not the people in the locker room. Right. Those people, because they're the ones that pay their hard-earned money to come in there and see you, and they're the ones that are going to either make you or break you. Right. Because if they don't like you and they're not cheering, they're sitting on their hands or sitting on their phone, the promoter's going to see that and be like, why am I paying for this guy? I can go bring in a guy maybe not as talented or as popular who can entertain a little bit better. Boom. There you go. You lose bookings. And
you're doing it the right way when you've got, and I know you love talking about this guy. He is awesome. He is your number one fan. When you got a kid who follows you all the different places, man, he follows you everywhere in North Carolina. Let's talk about MJ for a little bit.
Man, MJ's a special soul, man. I love MJ to death. I would do anything for that kid. When I first met MJ, it was when I started wrestling for EWF, and we were at the old Mooresboro gym, and his mom would bring him in there. There was just something about him. It's something like the moment I took a picture with him, you could just feel the warmth coming from his soul. And then that first Halloween show where he dressed up as me for the Halloween contest.
Yes.
I love that kid. I love him to death.
Right. Without a doubt, man. And as a matter of fact, I was there the night when at HWA, they gave him a free pass to every show at HWA. If you're there, he gets in free for being your number one fan. And I thought that was just terrific, man. That is giving back, and I love that.
Well, I made him the VIP and the CEO of the Big Country Fight Club. So, I was glad to be able to do that to him. I actually gave him my ring-worn Punisher pendant that I always wore around my neck. I ended up giving him that night. And actually, the original EWF belt, if you remember that one. Yep. 1 year I'm not sure if it was for his birthday. I think it was for his birthday. I actually gave him that title because it was given to me. And as much of being a part of my career as he has been and so supportive and everything, I wanted to be able to do that for him.
Without a doubt. It's amazing to watch him light up when you come out. I mean, he just lights up. He cheers harder than anybody in the building. It's just amazing. So Christmas has just passed. So we're going to do one more thing from our sponsors, and then we're going to show what you did for Christmas to one Mr. Vallow. So we'll be right back. There you have it. 1, 2, 3. Chris Vallow landed right on his head.
Yeah, one thing you didn't see after that match is I magically turned him into an evolving Pokemon. I guess when you package pile drive Chris Vallow on a pile of candy canes, he turns into a confused reindeer.
I wish I would have been there for that night. I was at another wrestling show that night. My wife and daughter was at that show, but I was at another show. I had made plans to go somewhere else, unfortunately. But man, it looked, when I saw the whole match, it just made me laugh. It was such a great ending. And when you came out and start throwing candy canes around, man. The crowd going nuts. It's always a great time at 3 Count, by the way. That place is always packed.
Well, I made my debut for 3 Count 3 years ago at the Country Santa Clash. And I've been blessed every year since then to be a part of it. And I go all out. I actually start out in the red when I come to that show because I've spent so much money on props and candy canes and stuff for the kids. I made custom Big Country Santa hats and everything. I give back to my fans. I show how much I appreciate my fans, and especially on those nights.
I'm telling you, they are giving you the love back, man. Ryan says Big Country top notch. Bo says big country, big country, big country. Gosh, man. Aaron Jones just showed up. He said, just tuned in. Hope everyone is well. We're doing great, man. Welcome to hashtag. Janet Baldwin said hello, Scott and Big Country from Uprise Pro Wrestling. I'll spit it out. I'll get it out of my mouth eventually. And Chuck says, condolences to Josh Steinborn on the loss of his dad, Randy. Sorry to hear that. Really am sorry to hear that, Josh.
Yeah, I've known Josh
you
for
put
a long
a
time.
damper on me, Chuck. What's up with that, man? But I'm sorry to hear that, Josh. I really am.
Yeah, Josh, he's a great guy. My condolences to him and his family. My prayers go out to him.
Right.
I lost my dad about 5 years ago from cancer, and it's the worst gut-wrenching feeling on earth. So my prayers go out to him and his family.
Right, without a doubt, man. My dad's still around, but I lost my mom on Thanksgiving Day, 2003. So that holiday is never the same, bro. Never the same. And she died of cancer also. So, again, my condolences, Josh. I wish everything well for you and your family. My prayers go out to you, buddy. But Christmas is coming, gone. New Year coming up, man. Outside of wrestling, what are some of the hobbies that Big Country has?
The gym. That's my only hobby right now. I live in there 5 to 6 days a week. I'm in there after work. Christmas Day, I was there. Thanksgiving Day, I went there. I don't stop. They say new year, new me, but it's going to be continuing the new me because, I want to stay as healthy as I can, especially with the way stuff is going nowadays with the pandemic and everything. Your body needs to be as good as it can to fight off anything that the world wants to throw at it.
Oh, wow. Man, these guys are lighting it up over here. Billy Jones says, Janet Baldwin does a no DQ street fight between Robert Country Ordway and Jackson Sane. Not sound good. I would love to see that. Oh, my goodness.
Did these people not see the match that me and Belton Creedmoor had? That took a few years off my life, I love Jackson Sane. He's going to give this 40-year-old body time to rest a little bit.
You're hitting all the spots like I'm telling you, because guess what the next clip is that's coming up?
Probably me going through a door.
Oh, I've got that. It's coming. It's coming. I'm showing the great spots in that match, man. The Legos, the door, the barbed wire table. It's coming. It's coming. Ooh. Oh, man. Aaron Jones says, when are we going to finally get to see you crush Tyler Aitken?
Tyler got lucky last time. Life kind of threw me a curveball and he got his butt saved. But anytime I have a little bit of food stuck in my teeth and I need a toothpick to pick it out, Tyler Aitken, you're my dude.
I love it. I love it. Is it now during that clip, Vallo tried to pick you up at Santa Clash. He tried to literally pick you up, to body slam you. How many people, has there ever been anybody to actually pick you up and body slam you?
Maybe, I think a couple times they've given me the Lex Luger Yokozuna body slam where it doesn't actually go fully, but nobody's ever actually been able to fully rotate and body slam me.
I would love to see the man that could do that, though. There's somebody out there that can do that. You just haven't met him yet.
You could probably create me on one of the WWE games on PS4 and do it on there, but that's about the only time you're gonna see it.
Oh, isn't it amazing how those games are? It's supposed to be realistic, but you got people, like, the small cruiserweights throwing around people, it's the big wrestlers, the huge wrestlers. It's amazing what you can do on those video games, man. I love that.
Right.
Do you play 2K21 or 20 or?
I used to be a gamer, but now it's like I don't know if it's all the hitting the heads from chairs and stuff like that, but my hand-eye coordination, my attention span just ain't with it. I try to play Fortnite, and I was getting like whooped by little 5-year-olds. I'm telling you.
Tyler Aiken said, "I'm here to perform toothpick duties at any time."
Tyler's got to quit
Oh
turning
my
sideways.
God.
He disappears.
David West wants to know, are you a redneck? What a question, but I'm going to put it out there. He wants to know if you're a redneck.
I have a red neck. I was doing squats earlier, so the back of my neck is actually pretty red from the bar. But I have a tendency. I'm not your typical one. I don't find my sister cute or anything like that. But I do like to go out in the woods. I do love hunting, camping, and fishing. But I have lived in my fair share of trailers, but I'm not the Larry the Cable Guy type, but I am a certain type.
Right, without a doubt. Now I'm going to go back to the gym thing because I remember I've seen videos of you. The clips I've been showing, these next 3 clips, the first 2 I've already shown, and the next one is all from 2020. You've lost some weight over the last year and a half. You've been really hitting the gym. You've been really, getting healthy. Something that I wish I could do. I don't have the inner strength right now, but I'm going to find it one day. But tell us, how are you going about doing what you're doing?
Willpower, man. Biggest thing is going. I don't go in there and take a lot of selfies and talk on the phone and stuff like that. When I go in there, I'm in there to do a job. It's a lot of it is just 100% willpower, man. Because it's not just going, it's staying. Because a lot of people do the new year, new me. They go to the gym for about a month and they're like, I can do this on my own, and they quit. I feel probably the best I ever have. I've been mixing up cardio with weightlifting and everything like that, and like I said, I go 5 to 6 days a week. I'm on the right type of supplements, proteins and stuff like that. And I'm 40 years old. I'm not a young boy anymore. My body doesn't heal like it used to, so I have to make sure that I can get whatever type of get ahead any type of way I can. Got to try to keep up with these youngsters, and I feel
I turned
great.
a big 5-0 in April. So I know exactly what you feel.
Yeah, well, I mean, for the past 16 years, I've been a living stuntman on the weekends. So, doing things to my body that's not normal. So, I just got to make sure that I give myself every advantage that I can. But yeah, and I understand not being able to get to a gym, but look online. There's a lot of the resistance bands. They actually have these things where you hook onto your door and you can actually sit in a chair and do the resistance bands and everything. Really, there's a lot of stuff that you can do. They have the pedal bike that is just the pedals. You can sit at the bottom of the chair, do that. There's a lot of things you can find. I mean, you can do everything on YouTube, but yeah, I mean, don't let anything,
but
any
like
type of.
You gotta have the willpower. I can't find it right now. I thought there's going to be a day when I'm going to find it. I'll find it. I'll get down in my core and I'll take it serious. But right now,
Believe me, there's many times where I'm driving home from work and my mission is to go to the gym, and my mind starts trying to want to talk me out of it. But when I actually take my little pre-workout and I down that sucker, there I have no other choice but to go to the gym, because there's no way you're going to be able to sit on your butt at home with some, pre-workout running through your system, because you will go insane. Right. So it's like when I get 30 minutes from there, I down that. I take my nitrous oxide, I take my my test booster and everything, and I down it with that pre-workout. So I know I have to get to that gym. I have to go. I mean, I pass right by it.
So you're juiced up and ready to go by the time you get there, man. You're ready to start pumping.
I mean, I go to the gym. I go into the steam sauna to begin with because, my job is very, strength consuming. I deliver car parts, but I also deliver engines, axles, transmissions, stuff like that. And a lot of the stuff I have to lift. So my body is not exactly ready to go even when I do take the pre-workout. So I go sit in the steam sauna for about 15 minutes, loosens everything up, go in there, do my workout, do my cardio, go sit back in the steam sauna when I get done. And when I get out of there, I feel like a new man.
Man. Well, we've got a lot more questions. There's a lot more questions over here. Right after this commercial break, we're going to look at that video from Solidarity with you and Nefarious Creedmoor doing some damage. So let's get to that.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups?
I hope it's Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
If it's Peanut Butter Cups, are you making a...
Oh, my goodness.
You sick man.
You sadistic son of a gun. You sadistic.
Whoa.
Sick. What's going on?
Whoa.
He's got a fork. Oh, my goodness.
We're talking Abdullah the Butcher.
Oh, just raking it across. Just raking it across the forehead. Oh, just hammer it in there. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Shades of Abdullah the Butcher there.
Oh, man.
You'd think...
And it looks like a little bit of blood's coming off of the forehead.
You'd think with a fork like that, these guys would be down for dinner, but not tonight.
Oh, and a low blow to Big Country. And now Creedmoor is in control. Hammering away on him. And I don't know what... Oh! Goodness! Kendo stick! Shots across the back. And a curb stomp onto the Lego. Big splash. Now, if Big Country were to give me a splash like that into the corner...
You'd be dead.
I would have no oxygen in my lungs.
Big Country.
My chest would cave in.
Shut up. Big Country, signaling to the board here.
I was about to stop talking.
It froze up on me. I have no idea what just happened. That's never happened to me before. They got so scared to watch it, it didn't even want to play.
Oh, it was parental guidance,
That's
for violence and everything.
Right? I'm going to try this one more time. I want to watch this. We're going to try it one more time, see if we can get it to run.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups?
I hope it's Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
If it's Peanut Butter Cups, are you making a...
Oh, my goodness.
You sick man.
You sadistic son of a gun. You sadistic.
Whoa.
Sick. What's going on?
Whoa.
He's got a fork. Oh, my goodness.
We're talking Abdullah the Butcher.
Oh, just raking it across. Just raking it across the forehead. Oh, just hammer it in there. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Shades of Abdullah the Butcher there.
Oh man.
You'd think
And it looks like a little bit of blood's coming off of the forehead.
You'd think with a fork like that, these guys would be down for dinner, but not tonight.
Oh, and a low blow to Big Country. And now Creedmoor is in control. Hammering away on him. And I don't know what. Oh! Goodness! Kendo stick! Shots across the back. And a curb stomp onto the Lego. Big splash. Now, if Big Country were to give me a splash like that into the corner,
You'd be dead.
I would have no oxygen in my lungs.
Big Country.
My chest would cave in.
Shut up. Big Country signaling to the board here.
I was about to stop talking. Oh, and Creedmoor stops himself, but fixes the board.
Oh! And just spears him through the door.
Oh my goodness, it's covered in barbed wire. He's setting up on the outside of the ring. There's no way.
Big Country almost to his feet here. Is he going to answer the 10 count?
Oh my goodness.
Big Country's up.
Big Country with a crimson mask soaking his face.
Nefarious with a shoulder to the midsection here.
No, they can't be thinking.
Nefarious looking for that suplex from the outside onto that barbed wire table.
Big Country countering. Boom, big shot. What's it going to take to get these guys knocked down? But whatever the end result is, Big Country has the possibility to land on the Legos. And Nefarious, the barbed wire table. Oh, that's a super kick. Oh, my.
The super kick puts Nefarious through the table.
Through the table.
Through the barbed wire table.
And pry the barbed wire away from the back of Nefarious Creedmoor. And there it is. The image to end the night. Big Country's hand held high in the middle of the ring.
There we go. That's what happens when you go live. You might have a few hiccups. Sorry about that. I had my Facebook running too, and a bunch of people were messaging me, and that's what slowed everything down. But there it is, man. That was some match.
Yeah, that took a few years off my life. That's why you don't see me doing those very much.
I mean, to say that you guys pulled out everything but the kitchen sink would be an understatement. I mean, Legos. You had the door, you had the barbed wire table, you had kendo sticks. I'm pretty sure there was probably a chair thrown in there at some point. I mean, it had to be an amazing match.
I found a fork. Who knew there was a fork under the ring, you know?
Yeah. Those big eaters there at, the COVID dome, they just, slip a fork right up under the.
It's weird. You always find the weirdest stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Wrestling ring.
So what is your favorite kind of match, man? If you had to pick a match to do against a rival of yours, what is your favorite match? Is it just a basic one-on-one, or do you have a stipulation you like?
Man, I just like to fight. I'm not the most technical person on earth. God gave me a couple big ham hocks, and I like to throw them things, Might have to start introducing some Twisted Tea into some matches now. I guess that's all the rage now.
Twisted Tea. You're going to have to explain that because I haven't seen it. Maybe I've been living under a rock.
Dude, you haven't seen the video of the guy getting smacked in the face with a Twisted Tea can? Oh, dude, when we get done here, I need you to go to YouTube or Facebook, whichever one you want to do, and type in Twisted Tea. That's all you got to type in. And you will see one of the funniest videos on this. Dude had it coming to him. I'll tell you the basis of it. The dude says some nice, not so nice choice words to a guy, calls him some words that should never be spoken. The guy's obviously inebriated, drunk, out of his mind, probably inbred. But the guy's sitting there with the big tall boy Twisted Tea can, the Twisted Tea, the iced tea stuff. And it's funny because at one point the guy's like, "Oh, what are you going to do? Smack me in the face with that?" Yeah. and the guy just goes right upside the guy's face with it, and then proceeds to pummel the guy. And now it's like all the rage. It seemed like everything that's going wrong in the world has gone away, and everything was about that guy getting smacked with a twisted tea.
Now I bet there's a lot of gifts out there with that.
Oh, dude, if anybody in their right mind would have bought stock in Twisted Tea, because I guarantee you that stuff went through the roof.
Without a doubt, man. So almost 17 years in the business, man. If you could go back and tell Big Country, the Big Country that started it all back when you first started, if you could tell him anything that you know now, what would that be?
Get rid of that friggin' name. That's what I would have told him. When he says, hey, let's call you Big Country, be like, hey, how about no?
I looked you up to get the video clips, dude. And on YouTube, there is like 20 Big Countries wrestling around the world right now.
Yeah, believe me, I know.
Not even joking.
Usually they're either wearing overalls, camouflage, or rebel flags. Now, when I first got started, I did do the stupid thing where I did put some rebel flags on my gear. I'm not gonna, deny that, but once I realized that that's not the way to go, that stuff went, and that went quick. And now I've just been doing my own thing. I incorporated the Punisher symbol, which is one of my dad's favorite comic book characters. That's why I ended up doing that. And plus, it was also I don't know if you remember those.
Everything else that you come out with is the Punisher part of that skull mask, or something different?
That was a lot of it. A lot of it had to do with my dad passing away, and like I said, he was one of my dad's favorite comic book characters. So, I figured, why not? Everybody really at that part of my career, a lot of people saw me as like a joke. He's just a big guy that stumbles around the ring and punches people. I was catching a lot of flack from like the websites called Trash Bag Wrestlers and stuff like that, and so I figured, you know what? Why not incorporate it? And I did. But then, I started hanging around the right people and started realizing that, I don't really care what those people say. I do have a place in this business, and,
right.
When you stop caring what the haters think and just care about what the people are that support you and love you and everything, your career gets so much easier after that. There was a lot of times where I thought that I was going to quit, and then being around guys like, Art Long, and I had a match with James Drake at PCW, and I have so much respect for James Drake. He's another one of the guys. Don't let the physique fool you. He's one of the most genuine guys in this business. I love the guy to death. We had a match at PCW, and everybody after that was talking about it, and it was just like, it was at a point where I was probably going to be done. I'd already made plans about, how I was going to finish, my year out and what I was going to do. And then it was that match that reinvigorated my passion and made me feel I do have a spot in this business. I do have a place. And, I went to the PWX.
If you don't have a place in wrestling, you definitely have a place in mind reading, because guess what my fourth clip is? Back when we did our 2-hour and 30-minute marathon, you mentioned that was one of your favorite matches of all time. I went and I found it, and that is the next clip that I'm about to show right now. So let's talk about it right now. Here we go. Well, let's try it one more time.
close
See
up
if
again.
it'll work. I want to get through it because there's some great people at the end of this match, and seeing the end of this match is awesome. All right, let's try it one more time.
You suck, Drake. Here they go.
And there you go. Big Country beats James Drake. Now, I've been asking James Drake to come on this show since my very first show in 2018, and I still have not got a response. So I'm going to keep showing him. I'm going to keep showing him off. And even though he lost that match, and I'm going to get him on hashtag truth one day. But is that the match you were talking about, sir?
That's actually our the second match. The first one was when we were at the old building. It was can't remember what the name of it was, but it was a place where they did like boxing and MMA and stuff like that. And yeah, I ended up actually, believe it or not, getting power bombed by him, but it was assisted off the ropes. It was pretty crazy night. But yeah, it was guys like him. And my match, first time ever with Ethan Case, we were at ACCW in Midnight, and me and him had a match that very rarely do you ever have a match where everything seems to click and it's just like magic, you know? And, you know, the approval I got from him, especially as traveled as he is and as experienced as he is, and the fact that he came back there and he told me, he said, dude, I will wrestle you any day of the week and twice on Sundays. You know, it's when guys tell you stuff like that, especially who they are, it kind of brings something out in you like, hey, you know, I can hang with the guys that are up there in the upper echelon and everything. And, you know, all that self-doubt starts to go away. And then luckily being around people like that and, you know, all the rest of the guys that I've been blessed to be around, you know, here lately, I've actually had some kids that are getting started out be like, hey, I used to watch you when I was little. It's like, wow, I'm that old now.
Oh, that makes you feel old, don't it?
But it also makes me feel good because I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that people actually come up to and ask, hey, would you watch my match? Hey, what did you think of this? Hey, is there any advice you can give me? And, you know, I'm far from anybody that's done really anything in this business, but, you know, it still makes you feel good that people actually care about what your opinion is and how you feel and, you know, your advice on stuff. And it just, you know, makes your 16 years of beating yourself up, you know, give it a little bit of meaning and everything.
Right, without a doubt, man. How does it feel when youngsters, like, after a match come up and ask you to critique their matches? Do you have anybody do that?
Well, yeah, and the bad part is that you still have those ones. They don't really honestly want your honest opinion. They want you to tell them that, oh, everything was awesome and you know everything was great. But it's when you start, well, there's some things that you need to work on or anything like. Anytime you start giving constructive criticism, it's like they take it as an insult. Like, oh no, you don't know what you're talking about then.
Right. Aaron Jones has a couple of things he said. First, he said the fork was under the ring from my match before yours. They had pasta under there. So you missed the pasta, but you got the fork.
Well, Belton's forehead
He
didn't miss the
also said, right. He also said, I remember being a wee boy watching country. So there you go. There's one of your little boys that was watching.
Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate it.
And Joshua Tesner wants to know, when are you going to be back at Titan Wrestling Southside?
That's a question you're gonna have to ask Titan Wrestling Southside. It's I know I'm not on their next show. I guess I wasn't that impressive against Brett West, but
Oh,
what I have left in me, I'm ready to take on anybody and anybody for any company.
Right, without a doubt, man. It's man, I'm telling you, it's always a pleasure having you on #Truth, man. We could probably sit here and talk for 3 hours. It's been over an hour already. But and sorry everybody again for the technical difficulties. I don't know what happened, but it might be that I just have way too many videos downloaded on my little thing here. But either way, we got them out there. Man, Big Country, it is always a pleasure watching you in the ring, man. You're welcome back at #Truth at any time, man. And it's just amazing how we could talk for an hour and it didn't even feel like it was 10 minutes, bro.
No, it really didn't. Well, the fact of the matter is when you sit there and you can have a constructive discussion with people that know what they're talking about and everything, time flies.
Right, without a doubt. Now I've got to ask you, this question comes up with every independent wrestler that comes through the hoop. If you and of course it was asked a couple of times over here. If you get to one of the big shows, I remember asking you this during the 2-hour marathon that we had, AEW, WWE, ROH. Who is that one guy you would love to go head to head with up there that's in the pros right now?
One guy, unfortunately, I don't want to bring up another, down spot, but Brody Lee, who, suddenly passed away a couple of days ago.
Man, 41, I think he was. He was in his 40s. That's too young, man.
Dude. 2020, man, I'm telling you, it's just ridiculous. But I was such a fan of his, and to watch him grow the way he did, to get to see the behind the scenes about him and his family, the way he touched every single wrestler's life. He was really one of the ones I thought that we could have like a good, knockdown, drag out type match, and he was one of them. There's so much great talent nowadays. One match I've never gotten to have, and I love the kid to death. I've known him my whole career. Cedric Alexander. I'm so proud of him.
North Carolina, yeah. Mr. North Carolina to everybody.
Dude, I mean, from when he appeared on NXT, when he appeared in the Classic, and, he's the fact that Triple H came out and, basically gave him his stamp of approval, got signed, went through everything he's been through. And why he wasn't signed so many years before that, I have no idea. But I am so proud of him and everything he's accomplished. He lasted through all the cuts there at WWE. He's part of a and they brought him up and they made him like enhancement almost. And then now he's with the Hurt Business, and I'm so proud of him because I know the guy and I've shared many locker rooms with the guy, and he's now everybody's getting to see what all of us saw on our level. And
I've talked to many podcasters back in the day when he was running the indies, and he was a great interview, man. He would come on, he was down home just like you are, talk to you straight. You know, I sort of wish I would have started what I started, you know, 5-6 years before then. That way I could have got an interview or two from him. But I'm just as proud as you are, man, that he's a North Carolina kid that made it big, and he deserves every accolade that everybody gives him, man.
Well, the best part about him is he'll pop up randomly around places, and he's still the same old Cedric Alexander. Doesn't matter where he's gone or what he's done. He's still humble. He still loves everybody, remembers everybody. Same thing with FTR. Those guys, you know, Dawson, I got to meet him so many times. And it's just the people that are coming up from our area of just like, I mean, look at Braun Strowman, you know,
right?
Watch the guy play softball. Right. That guy's just, I mean, I'm so happy for all the guys that get the opportunity.
With them arms, man, I bet he crushed a softball.
Oh, it's not even fair with the strength of that guy. But no, it's hard to say who. I'd love to wrestle anybody. I mean, I wish I was the caliber to make it up there. And, you know, I don't think at 40 years old, I really honestly don't believe there's any chance of it happening. But, you know, I just want to be, I'm glad I'm still in it. I'm glad I'm still able to help. And my basically thing is you always want to leave the business better than when you found it. And, you know, hopefully I can do that. Hopefully when I'm done and I hang it up, people will associate my name with, you know, at least doing a little something.
Right. Without a doubt. Now, speaking of hanging it up, now I know, you know, I don't want to see you do that anytime soon. So don't take that as this question is, I'm hoping you quit or anything, but after you do hang them up, is there anything else in wrestling you might want to do? Maybe manage, maybe help train people, or are you just going to kind of lay low and retire gracefully?
When I say hang it up, I'm really mean from basically in-ring competition. Right. I still love this business. I believe in my heart of hearts, my mind is, I've got a mind for this business, helping anybody that wants it, helping companies with creative storylines, stuff like that. I think I'd be a dynamite manager. I mean, I think I'm pretty good on the stick. So, you know, I think I could actually, I think I'd actually be good at it, but you know,
I don't think too many people would mess with you outside the ring either. I mean, you might take a bump, but they'd have to do it from behind. I don't think they're going to do it face to face.
Well, you know, if the money's right, but now I'd still love to be around the business. I don't want to be that guy that's taking up a space or a spot that somebody else could be in that you know, needs it, that, you know, maybe a little hungrier, maybe, you know, it has a chance to go farther than I have. So, you know, I don't want to be the guy that takes up that spot and doesn't let go. So it's like, when I honestly feel that I don't have anything left to give, then I will gracefully bow out, hang my boots up, and do what I can to help in any way I can.
Right. Now, last question. I promised last question. I know we've been hour 15 minutes. Like I said, we could probably do this for 3 more hours, but let me see if I can get this name right now. Tri-State Wrestling. You held their title for, was it 2 years straight before you finally lost it?
Well, I technically didn't lose it. I mean, if anybody was there that night, it took 4 guys and the owner throwing in the towel to get that belt off of me. Otherwise, they would have had to kill me. But yeah, respectfully, for 2 years, I was the TCW heavyweight champion. I defended that belt with pride against any and all comers, from the Barbarian to Maverick to Hunter X. And, you know, 2 years respectfully holding that belt. I love Tim. I love TCW. I hope they come back, because that company and everybody in there, especially Tim and his wife, hold a special place in my heart. And, you know, I really hope
now, is that the longest you've held a heavyweight championship?
Well, technically, there was a company called DRW, which was Death Row Wrestling. CC Cogdell and Wicked. It was a concoction of them. And the last show I had for them, I actually won the Death Row Wrestling Heavyweight Championship from Wicked with actually Father Darkness as my manager. And
Okay.
I technically still hold that title. So actually, if you want to get technical, I mean, I think that would be the longest ever championship I've ever held.
So that's what, a 15, 16-year title?
Actually, I think it's about a 7 or 8 year title, but yeah, it's still up there. I mean, it's nothing like the back in the day where guys used to hold titles for like 10 years and stuff, but you know.
Wow, man, that is amazing. Well, there you have it. Big Country, man. Like I said, I appreciate you coming by #Truth. You know you are invited anytime you want to come back. You know I'm one of your biggest fans. I watch you everywhere. I cannot wait till HWA comes back. Joey, you hear me? You got to get that place running, man. We miss our HWA, and man, we just want to see you wrestle everywhere and wrestle everybody. And you're one of the good ones. And thank you for coming on #Truth, man.
Well, thank you for having me, Scott.
All right, here he is, Big Country. He says it best: go big or go home. That is the #Truth. Thank you guys for watching.